Alright, welcome in class. Today I'm going to be presenting the 2025 NBA trade deadline. Just kidding, I'm not going to stick to that the whole video, but I figured it would be cool if I did this video like a high school presentation. I think it's something different, but I've got everything lined up here and we're gonna see how this goes. Let's start off with the Luka trade. Alright, so big trade. None of the other trades in the whole weekend even got close to this one. But we had Luka, Markieff Morris, and Maxi Kleber go to the Lakers. And we had AD, Max Christie go to the Mavs. Let's move them over. Put a lot of work into this, okay? Okay, definitely. This looks like it was made in MS Paint, but I don't care. Alright, and then we had Hood Schifino went to the Jazz, along with, I think, these 2 second-round picks also went to the Jazz. I know they did. I definitely don't think. I didn't make this video just to think, but here we go. So now you got Luka, Maxey, and Markieff Morris. I don't know what happened to Markieff Morris, but the dude is unfortunately aged in the last few years. But he looks rough, unfortunately. But hey, you can't stay young forever. But not what I expected when I Googled him. Kind of threw me off. But Luka, big trade. Big trade. You can't say anything. Blew everything else that happened, as big as it was. Big free agency. Blew it out the water. But everybody knows this trade. This was massive. AD should be good on the Mavs. Should fit in with that starting five pretty good. But the window just got shifted, like I said before, from 10 years to 3. So I feel like the Lakers are going to get people to come, and it's going to be Lakerland's going to be good for 10 years. And then I think Hood Schifino got waived, unfortunately, for him. All right, class, let's move on to the next one. The Kyle Kuzma trade. Okay, so on the Kyle Kuzma trade, you had surrounded by Chris Middleton. I'm sorry, Chris, but you don't get to be the namesake of this trade. But we got Chris Middleton flipping spots with Kyle Kuzma and Patrick Baldwin heading up to Milwaukee. The Wizards are where people go to die, and unfortunately, Chris Middleton is the newest casualty to this. I don't know about this AJ Griffin kid, but we'll see how he is. And then also, Jericho Sams went to the Bucks, and that was pretty good. I gotta make sure I got my phone up just so I don't screw up any of these. I think I've got them right so far, but some of these other ones are going to get a little interesting, to say the least. But, okay. But yeah, Kuz on the Bucks should be pretty good. They did waive Patrick Baldwin Jr. He's not sticking around. But it's a decent trade for what they did. Unfortunately, Chris Middleton has not been the same since his injuries. But that's not entirely his fault. He's just getting old. Doesn't look quite as bad as Markieff Morris did, but here we are. Decent trade. I like it for both teams. Well, I would say that, but the Wizards are an absolute dumpster fire. So unfortunately for them, sorry if you're a Wizards fan, but you know what's happening. It's unfortunate. I don't wish that on anybody. All right, next trade we got is the De'Aaron Fox trade. So this one, big one, good fits here. Fox and Jordan McLaughlin, not Herder, not you. Fox and Jordan McLaughlin head to the Spurs. And, oh boy, this one's too big. I'm already forgetting. I know, where's he at? Jordan McLaughlin heading to the Spurs. Come on, give it to me. Yeah, whatever. Here we go. Whatever. Okay. Wasting time with this right now. But, I'm sorry. I'll just wing it. I know Zach LaVine to the Kings. These guys going up north to the Bulls. Zach Collins, Trey Jones. Their first round pick they get back from the Spurs. And I do believe Sid Sesko went with LaVine there, and I think Herder might be on the Bulls. Let me double check. Let me see if I nailed it. I might have nailed it. Show me the trade. They're not showing me the trade. Alright, I think I nailed it. Where are we at? I'm sorry. I should have known this before I got any. All right, here we go. Yeah, Fox and McLaughlin to the Spurs. Zach LaVine, Sid Sesco, and all these picks to the Kings, but half of those are protected or bad teams, so they're not worth anything. And then we've got this whole lot of veterans. I think Trey Jones is only 3 or 4 years deep, but he hasn't really. He's a project. He's still pretty good. That does add another guard to the Bulls roster, so they didn't get rid of Kobe White. They re-signed Lonzo to a 2-year $20. So lots of guards on that roster. Although Trey Jones in college averaged 5 assists to 1 turnover, hasn't amounted to that in the NBA, but still pretty good all around. Yeah, good trade for everybody. Fox pairs up with DeMar DeRozan again. I like that a lot. It's pretty good. And I like it. And they end up, San Antonio gets their guard of the future alongside Castle and Wemby. I like this move for everybody, and the Bulls are just. Bulls should have got more picks in here. Bulls lost this trade front end. They needed more picks. All they did was pick up salary. I guess they got off a cap with LaVine. That's why they didn't get it, because they had to get off of LaVine. He's got a big contract. But still, you should have got a second or something. I mean, shoot, they got 6 seconds. You couldn't have thrown one the Bulls' way. But whatever. I digress. Jonas Valanciunas trade. Valanciunas is headed to the Kings to join Zach LaVine. And with him going out to the Wizards is 2 second-round picks. Hey, Chicago, that's how you stack second-round picks right there. You get rid of an asset that's older, you get second-round picks. It is what it is. Detroit didn't know how to do that either, but must be a Central Division thing. Until Trajan took over, the Pistons are better. But we're not talking about the Pistons. We're talking about Jonas Valanciunas, or as I like to call him sometimes, vasectomy, to the Kings. Next trade. Caleb Martin and Quentin Grimes. Grimes is getting bounced around. Went to the Knicks, went to the Pistons, and then did we trade him for somebody? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Hasn't amounted to a ton. Oh, Tim Hardaway Jr. We traded. Okay, that's how he got on the Mavs. But yeah, we got Caleb Martin coming from the 76ers, and we got Quentin Grimes going up to Philly to try not to die if there's a Super Bowl parade. But they get a second-round pick there. Quentin Grimes is a decent young guy. Really a pretty even trade because it's pretty much like flopping the same guy. Age difference, Quentin Grimes is 24, I think, and Caleb Martin, his brother Cody got traded too. We'll see later. But Caleb Martin averaged, or he's 28, I think, somewhere around the 28 range. So about a 4-year difference, younger. Philly could use a guy. Quentin Grimes is, I don't know why he's getting passed around. I honestly didn't know why the Pistons got rid of him. He's not terrible. He's actually pretty decent. He's a decent role player, but I don't know, defense wasn't bad either. I don't know, but he's getting bounced around right now. And this is not a big enough trade to sit on. The next one is, however, it is the Jimmy Butler trade. Jimmy Butler was a diva for months, but thanks to him, my Pistons end up with a haul of young guys. We'll start with them because, I mean, I'm a Pistons fan. Look at stuff behind me. I mean, you probably can't see it, but Pistons got them on. They did good in this deadline. I mean, originally in this trade, Shooter went to Utah, but he ended up in Detroit. We need a bench playmaker. Trajan did his job and got its bench playmaker. Lindy Waters, don't know a whole lot about him. I used to watch a lot more Golden State games, but they've kind of grown tired of that. So we get Lindy Waters, a little bit of a project, but it's not like a Troy Weaver project where that's all you get in the trade. So I'm good with it. And we got a second-round pick. More picks. We also got Josh Richardson in this trade. Got another good bench guard. So we can maybe, I don't know, Fonte might get less minutes. As much as I love Fonte, his defense is so-so. Josh Richardson can sometimes play defense. And he's been known to score. So we've got some movement right now. We can look. I don't know why Josh Richardson is 10 times bigger than Dennis Schroeder, but we're here. Okay. And in the big flip here, he's not going to Phoenix. He's not going to Lakers. He's not going to Dallas. He's not going to Memphis. Definitely didn't go to Memphis. He cried all the way through the Panama Canal, all around to Golden State. And he signs a 2-year, $121 million deal. It's not bad because he shouldn't regress that bad. I ain't no way am I giving him a 5-year because he's going to end up just like Paul George in Philly. He's going to be injury prone. Sometimes you get flashes, but you can't know if he's going to make the playoffs because he's going to be hurt. And this big haul of fellers here are heading to the Heat. Andrew Wiggins will be good. Will not have. I mean, you went from complete just putting the media on blast. Wiggins will not talk to the media, so you don't got to worry about that. You just got to worry about you got Tyler Hero and Bam now with him being good defensively. Kyle Anderson, I think, is getting passed around, and PJ Tucker got traded after this trade, and I think that is the complete trade. For there, yeah, there's some first round. Protected first is going to the Heat. That one is a protected first. Dennis Schroeder. I think the Jazz kept the second round pick in that. And yeah, Pistons get a second. So there's another second round pick that actually went to the Jazz. So Jazz get a little bit of juice here before they trade off Schroeder to Detroit as part of this before they finalize it. All in all, I don't mind the trade for everybody. I don't know that Jimmy really pushes the envelope. I don't know if I know the Pistons aren't winning a championship. So they're going to make the playoffs. More, hopefully. I'm not going to jinx anything. Hopefully they're dead set playoffs right now. But Heat got better, which, I mean, Heat getting better could push the Pistons out of a top 6 spot. But, I mean, if they're barely rolling 6, it's like, do they even deserve top 6 anyway? So we'll see what the Pistons can do with these assets, and we'll see what the Heat can do with the assets. I hope the Pistons can move up. Again, talking about the Pistons, because, of course, Pistons fan. But I hope this does well for the Pistons to move up, and honestly, I hope the Heat do well out of this, too. Golden State, a little bit of an uphill battle because they're pushing. I think they're 13th seed right now, 12 or 13. Or no, 10 or 11. Sorry, not that far down. 10 or 11, they're barely in that play-in, and the West is full of dogs this year. Teams, I mean, shoot, Sacramento might be better without Fox with the fit. Monk playing a 1, Levine playing a 2. So it's going to be hard for them to push up even. I don't think they're making it out of the play-in. They're going to be a play-in team, and they're going to need playoff Jimmy Butler to show up. So we'll see if this trade works. Because Wiggins is faded in the playoffs, other than the run where they won the championship in 22. So we'll see if Jimmy Butler, if he can turn it on in the playoffs like he seems to always do. They might have a shot to get knocked out by the Thunder. So first round exit probably more than likely. Sorry, Warriors fans. I have been a Warriors fan in the past, but unfortunately, I'll say it. I'm off the bandwagon. I was a bandwagon. I'll say it. I'm off the bandwagon. I like them, but they're too old. I still watch them. I still like Steph and Dre, but Time Lord's clicking and not Robert Williams. Okay, we got Brandon Ingram here. Brandon Ingram trade to Toronto. He looks exceedingly high for this team photo, but here we are for Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown, pretty much getting off contracts. Right now, Pelicans are trying to stack picks because everybody that's there is pulling something or getting hurt. Zion was maybe out of town, but I'm sure nobody wanted to take him on with his inconsistency with injuries. When he's on the floor, he plays well. Not as well as we had thought, but he has flashes. I think that's all we're gonna get. I like Zion. I liked him in high school, but unfortunately, I think all we're gonna get is flashes. And now Brandon Ingram has to make it across the border without getting caught with weed. Once he gets to Toronto, I'm sure he can figure that out. But, yeah. I kind of wish Detroit had went for him, but at the same time, he looks like, I don't know. Detroit's doing all right, though. Back on Detroit. This isn't even a Detroit trade. I just saw him there. I'm that close to him, so... let's go. Brandon Ingram trade. We'll see what it does for Toronto. Might help them more. They got to sign him to an extension because it's not going to help them this year. They're too far down the standings. These are both bottom feeder teams, unfortunately, trading with each other. Not really going to help this year, but maybe next year. Okay, speaking of bottom feeder teams, we've got Charlotte trading with the Lakers. These guys are too far down. But so Mark Williams, they needed a center. He's shown flashes, but he did get dominated by AD that one game. They keep mentioning that. Although his reach, he's got the skill set. AD is a good center. I mean, he's not. I mean, Luka for AD is a little bit of a stretch. That trade, I still can't fully comprehend that. But yeah, Mark Williams is solid. He can give you 20 and 20 every once in a while. And that guy, you can't get a guy like that every day. So it's a good, solid pickup for the Lakers. Not a big Lakers guy, but hey, can't win them all. And I mean, I'm happy for him actually putting pieces together. Rob Pelinka getting Luka just bought himself a decade at least as GM. They're not gonna say he's not gonna get talked about bad now after that Luka trade. And then we got Cam Reddish and Connect going to the Hornets. Reddish will probably go there to die, but Connect has a chance to be part of that rotation. Reddish is so disappointing. I thought he was going to be so much better coming out of high school, but it's okay. Not everybody reaches their ceiling, and sometimes it's their own fault and sometimes it's not. So I can't say anything. Good luck to him. I hope this is the place he turns it around because he should be a flamethrower, and it doesn't make any sense why he's not. Connect's actually started off with what I thought Cam Reddish should start off like. But he can frame a little better. They got a first-round pick and a 2030 swap. Pretty nice pickup for Charlotte. I don't know how many more firsts the Lakers got. But, I mean, they shouldn't be complaining about anything after getting Luka. So, that's that trade. We got Jaden Springer and a second-round pick to the Rockets for probably just a salary cap dump to keep themselves a little more on the apron, and they know they don't have playing time for him, so might as well get him out of the building. This is a quick blow-through on that. We got Daniel Tice was traded to, I don't know where he got traded to, but he got waived. That's sad. I'm sorry, Daniel Tice. I wish I had known more. But he got traded to, I don't know, Charlotte or somewhere, and then he got waived. So rip Bozo. He's gone. Rip Bozo. Next trade. Get rid of these. I'm tired of looking at them. Kmart to the Pistons. Kenyon Martin Jr., not Kmart, not his dad's nickname, but I put that because that makes me remember. But Kenyon Martin Jr., another dog to the Pistons. Trajan is doing his job. He's done more in 6 months than Troy Weaver did in 3 years. 3 or 4. It's not that hard, Troy. He got second-round picks and a player. And he's not really a project because you know what he is. You know what he's going to give you, and he might get slightly better. He's not a project because you're not trying to build him up. You know what he is. And you got Dennis Schroeder. Troy, I know you're never going to hear this, but you deserve to. You sucked at your job. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't draft. You couldn't get draft picks, and you couldn't find players. You got lucky with Cade. Okay, enough. Trajan. Thank you for this. Kevin Martin Jr., solid pickup. More picks. And they're Philly second rounders. They could stink in a couple of years. Who knows? But solid pickup. On to the next one. Nurkic trade. Nurkic gets out of Phoenix. He fell out of rotation. And Phoenix gets a little bit of depth because I don't know. I forget who the hell that guy is, but he's not going to play. So they get a pick, which they need desperately because they don't have picks. And Charlotte, hopefully, I don't think Nurkic is quite ready to die. So he'll probably move on from there and probably be, I don't know, he's getting close to that stage in his career where he might have to be a backup, but we'll see. It's crazy to think how him and Jokic were fighting for the starting position in Denver, and they made the best decision to go with Jokic. It's unfortunate. Nurkic is a good guy, is a good player too, but he just doesn't have the aggressiveness that he needs. But decent trade here. You trading assets. Nurkic gets out of town. I'm sure he was tired of listening to himself try to be traded every week. But yeah, Cody Martin here is going to the Suns. get a little bit of depth, a good bench piece. That's all that really is. Another bigger trade, DeAndre Hunter in his career year is headed to Cleveland for Karis LeVert and Georges Niang. This is not a bad trade for both. Hunter, the Hawks, I guess, wanted off of his contract, and you get two smaller contracts, but they're good shooter. And LeVert's a little inconsistent, but Niang's a good shooter. They're both solid pieces, and you get 3 second-round picks and 2 pick swaps here, so pretty solid. And the Cavs get a pretty solid defender, and if they pick him in his right spots, it's going to be a good fit because he doesn't have to do near as much as he had to do on the Hawks. They'll find his spots, and he will fit probably very good with this Cavs team. I didn't even think about him getting traded prior to the deadline, but it's been pretty good. Okay, we got Bojan Bogdanovic trade. Bogdanovic heads to the Clippers for... he was in the Hawks for Trey Mann and Kevin Porter Jr. and 3 second-round picks. Pretty good. I like Kevin Porter Jr., but the man's got an attitude problem that everywhere he goes, he burns a bridge in like 6 months. He could have been great on the Cavs if he kept it together, but did not happen. Trey Mann is solid. Atlanta's kind of downgrading but upgrading in some spots, so we'll see what happens because they're getting a lot of guys, and they're going to be able to retool this team just a little bit and see what they can do, push the playoffs. Maybe. I don't mind some of the moves. And the Clippers get just a lockdown shooter. He's back in California, took a temporary 1.5-year hiatus in Atlanta. Almost went to the Bucks, but he is in Clipperland, Lakerland South. Oh, actually, no, they're not in the same building anymore. So, yeah, he's got his own building out there. Next. Wiseman trade. Wiseman is waived, I think. So, I think he went... I don't know where he went, but it doesn't matter because I'm tired of looking at his face from being on the Pistons last year. Kevin Porter Jr. was traded again. Who did he go? I just had him. Oh, he went to Atlanta, and then he got traded to the Bucks. No. I gotta look this up. I screwed it up. League alerts. Kevin Porter Jr. This is throwing me off. I thought I had it on. Clippers are trading Kevin Porter Jr. to the Bucks for Beauchamp. I thought he was part of the... Maybe I screwed it up. He's going to the... So Beauchamp is going to the Clippers. I probably messed that up, so I don't know if that last trade was right. But either way, this is the final spot for these two. Beauchamp on the Clippers, he's a project, but he's got good wingspan, and he didn't really have minutes. They were kind of set with his spot in with Pat Connaughton coming off the bench in Milwaukee, so and they could, I guess, use a backup guard. We'll see how that works. I don't know if that's really a big trade. Cody Zeller to the Rockets for a second-round pick. Are they? I linked these. Oh, no, they're not linked. But second-round pick. Nobody cares. We're running high on time right now, so I'm going to start moving faster. Get out of here, Cody Zeller. Patrick Baldwin to the Spurs for cash. He came with the Kyle Kuzma trade, and he's gone. He's gone. Davion Mitchell, solid defensive guard, nickname Off Night because he turns people down. PJ Tucker came with the Golden State with the Jimmy Butler Wiggins trade, so he gets sent up to Toronto for a second-round pick, and they get a decent backup guard in the Heat. Pretty solid trade for the Heat. I don't know, Raptors are just getting a pick out of it pretty much. Jarrett Butler to Philly for Reggie Jackson and a first. Get off of Jackson's contract and get a project with Patrick Baldwin. 4 second-round picks is wild, though, for the Wizards to get rid of 4 second-round picks. Kind of crazy. They must have wanted off him, too. I don't know why. But he's gone. Reggie Jackson got waived after this, so he's gone. Got one more big trade, and this is it. We're at the tail end of it. Probably took too long explaining this. Jake LaRivia went to the Kings as part of this trade from the Grizzlies. And from the Kings, you have... Shoot. I'll look, but either way, I gotta find this trade because I forgot half of it. We got... Wizards are sending Bagley. So the Wizards got Bagley and Patrick Baldwin Jr. for... yeah, Marcus Smart is going to the Wizards. Hopefully not to die, honestly. I hate to say that, but it might be the case. And Alex Len. And, yeah, I think, yeah. I'm just going to plead the fifth on that last guy because I'm not trying to waste your time. I don't really know who this is. Hopefully I'm not burning any bridges there, which I probably will never meet that guy. But you got Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Bagley in a second. They get off of Smart's contract. I assume Bagley's never going to touch the floor. Memphis is probably just trying to get below the cap because I think these two are expiring contracts and Smart's still probably another year on his. Be nice to see him go to Boston right at the bench, honestly, if they can afford him. No, they're so far up the cap they can't. But Jake LaRivia, good young kind of shooter, goes to the Kings. But yeah. This was my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, class, for listening. I'm going to put everyone up so we can just see the magnitude of how much this affected people's lives and how much just one trade deadline can change the entire league for the good, for the better a lot of times. Look at this mess. Look at this overlap of fools here. Wow. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to trade. There we go. Add some more into the mix. But yeah. No, this was a trade deadline. It was definitely chaotic, and there was a lot of moves that just surprised me. And I am just generally just in awe of a lot of this. I want to leave them in order. But it was a good trade deadline. Definitely switched some teams. Do I think any of these teams can beat the Thunder? No. That's my pick as of right now to go all the way. But definitely gives some teams a better shot. And it could shift the standings in a lot of ways with some of these. And some people set up their futures, especially the Lakers did with their picks. I don't mind at all. I'm surprised OKC wasn't in on any of these trades this season. No pick. He's not going for picks anymore because he's set up. Yeah, they didn't trade for a veteran guy to take out picks either, which is not a usual OKC move. But yeah, I'm happy. My Pistons did well. I like what they brought in. They brought in Schroeder, who is a bench guard. We don't need somebody long term, so getting Schroeder on 1 year 15 is nice because he's gone next year, and Ivy will be back. So I don't know. It was kind of touchy. But yeah, this was the fun. This was what it was. Complete and utter chaos. But yeah, let's just go full on me. Gotta love this. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys all have a blessed and great night. And go Pistons.